Pumpkins. Are you having a hard time getting a needle through so that you can do the ribbing on the pumpkins to give them that cute little effect? Welcome to Off the Hook Crochet with Nicole and another Tip Tuesday. So my tip for today is going to be about a tool that we can use that will help to make it easier to get the nice little ribbing, no matter what size pumpkin, even the really fat pumpkins, we can use this tool. So let's go check it out. It is pumpkin making season, and these adorable little things are just one example of some of the times that we are going to need a needle to work on our crochet projects. The challenge is that with some of these, our needles just aren't quite big enough. So our standard crochet needle might look something like this. This is kind of the standard. It is made out of plastic. It's got a really big eye, which makes it really easy to get the yarn in and out of. But when trying to get that eye with the yarn through the stuffing, you can see the stuffing there, it's really challenging. It's really hard to do. And these don't get any longer than this, at least not that I've seen. There might be some out there, but if you've seen some that are longer, let me know. Put those in the comments below, because I would actually love to see some other options here. But I don't love this style because this big wide section here just separates the crochet. It's hard to get through the stuffing, so I don't like this option. Another option are the metal needles, and these are definitely better. They still have the really big eye there so that you can get the yarn through. But again, these only come in smaller sizes that I've seen. We'll see, but maybe they don't. But the ones that are standard for crochet generally do. When you find them for crochet, you usually get like a little batch of them in a little plastic container, and you get a whole bunch of them, but they're all, relatively close to this size. I have found these, which I really, really like. And these are made out of aluminum, and they have a little plastic end that collapses and expands. So it makes it really easy to get the yarn in. And then when it's going through your stitch or going through the stuffing, the polyfill, it collapses around it so that it makes it much easier to pull in and out. But even with these longer ones, if your amigurumi or your pumpkin is much larger than what we have here, it's hard to kind of get a grip on this other end when it comes time to pull the yarn through. So let me see if I can kind of show you what I mean here. Get that stuffed in. Sure we will. Through the eye. Okay, so that is on the end there. But when we go to pull it through, and this is probably going to make me a liar, it is a lot of times when I'm trying to do this, it gets really stuck in there, and it's hard to kind of pull through to the other side. That's especially a challenge the fatter or the farther the needle has to transfer. So if there's a project, a pumpkin that's any larger than this, any fatter, I'm not going to get this through from one end to the other. So the solution that I found, I went shopping at Joann's because I know that Joann's has a lot of upholstery items. And I found these upholstery needles. Now, you'll see that the eye of these is not as big as the eye here. So if we're kind of comparing them, they are definitely smaller. But with threader that you can kind of stick through. It's actually not that hard to get these threaded. And in fact, the other day I got lucky. Let's see if I can get lucky again. There you go. So it's really not that hard to get. And I've got two, these are worsted weight. I've got two of them on there. The nice thing is that because these are so long, once you get it through, obviously you'd want to have longer yarn, but once you get it through, then you have that option to really grip onto there and really get a good hold of that, so that when you pull it through, if it does kind of get stuck on the stuffing, it gives you something to yank on instead of just using your fingers. And if you're like me, you probably have a little bit of arthritis developing.
I'm getting old, okay?
Probably just have a little bit of, oh my gosh, I craft a lot kind of going on in the fingers, which makes it really hard to grip and pull that. These longer needles, these are called upholstery needles, and they come in a variety of different sizes. You can see here. Let me move these out of the way. We've got, that's probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 inches or so. And then you've got a longer one. And you've got a longer one here. And then you even have this vicious guy. And I told my husband, I said, yeah, you better not mess around with me, because I could do some damage with these things. They are definitely sharp on the end, which I also think helps with the pulling them through, because it doesn't get hung up like some of these more blunt edges. Now, if you're actually trying to use these to weave in the ends, it probably would work for that, but you're going to have to be a little bit more careful that you're not splitting the yarns and that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm really, really liking these for a lot of different things, because when you're weaving ends in something, you could go a long, long, long way with these and get a better weave in that way. Or you could even use these for, there's a, I think it's called the Russian join, where you join two pieces of yarn to attach them, and you're actually trying to go through the actual weave of the yarn. I wouldn't do that because I just don't have the patience for it. But if you do those kind of joins, they would work great for that. I really like them. They also come in a curved design, which I think I'm going to be buying some of those, because if you ever have something where you want to attach together, the straight ones, sometimes they can be a challenge to kind of get through both of those and then get back out. But the curved ones are going to hook right through. And I think that would be really easy to, to make that, it would make your amigurumi life a whole lot easier if you could do it that way. So let's put it that way. I am working on these crochet pumpkins. I do have some work to go on some of these patterns. They're not quite perfect, but fortunately you can just stick them together and nobody will even notice. Did you like this tip? I think this is a really cool idea, and I'm looking forward to doing more of these. If you have other ideas for how to attach longer crochet projects like that, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share, do all of that good stuff. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.